What's up, everybody? This is the N.E.R.D. Never Ending Ridiculous Discussions Gaming Podcast. I'll be your host this week, Dominic Spazzeri, and I'm with my good friend, Alan Gabrois. How you doing tonight?
Yo, what's up, Dom? I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing really good. I know we just did an episode, but we definitely have a lot to talk about this week alone, and I didn't want to wait. We're going to be going through the phenomenal September Nintendo Direct. Loads of announcements. We're going to have to skip a few, so we apologize for not talking about your favorite announcement, but we're going to be talking about all the big ones. Alan's going to talk about his time trying out New World, and I'll give out my time playing Kena Bridge of Spirits for the PlayStation 5. But let's jump right into it with the Nintendo Direct. Now, we're going to go a little out of order, and I'm going to have an article open up from IGN, written by Adam Bankhurst. So you can go appreciate them for giving out every single announcement in there. And again, we're only going to talk about kind of the big ones. But right off the bat, we have a new, what looks to be open world Kirby game coming to the Switch. And it looks very much like almost like a Mario Odyssey kind of thing. We really didn't get exactly what it is. We don't know if it's going to be small level based, if it's going to be a just giant open world and you're just Kirby running around. But it looks like a super adorable platformer, and especially for Kirby games, I'm usually kind of pass on them, but this definitely has my eye. And I know, Alan, you said that this is something that you got interested into as well.
Yeah, for me, Kirby is an IP or a game from my childhood that I spent a lot of time playing on the Super Nintendo. So, kind of seeing it get this treatment is a really cool thing, and just kind of like it's cool to see like the polish of the game and the format of the game be a little bit different than kind of what we're used to from a normal Kirby game. Usually, and Kirby games are your average side scrollers, and so giving this its sort of like open world quote unquote aspect to it is really cool. It does kind of look like it keeps some like the traditional like 2D platformer style types of things going on with like the rail. It kind of looks like it's on a rail for some levels, which is nice, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But it does look, again, like you said, super adorable, and it should be a ton of fun. It looks like there's some new powers and stuff that Kirby ends up getting here, so it looks really solid. I'm super excited for it. I'm definitely going to be picking that up when it comes out.
Yeah, as of right now, it's scheduled for spring 2022. So judging by Video Game World, I'm probably going to assume around May, which kind of makes sense given the timeline of their releases. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. One of the next big announcements, which this is something that I honestly did not expect them to do this. I thought we were going to get the Game Boy, but we're actually getting Nintendo 64 online, as well as Sega Genesis, which kind of came out of nowhere. I was not expecting that one at all. And these are going to be just similar to how they added the NES and SNES online. It's just going to be a separate app you can download, except this time it's considered an expansion pack to the Nintendo Switch Online membership. And they didn't say how much it's going to be, of course. But they're expecting for about sometime next month release, so October 2021, you're expecting to get these games. They're launching with only a few Nintendo 64 games, but it has all your favorites. You got Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart, Star Fox, Dr. Mario, Sin and Punishment, Mario Tennis, Win Back, and Yoshi Story, which these are going to be the launch lineups for the N64. I think that's pretty solid. I know we talked a lot about Star Fox last week. I can't wait to jump back into Star Fox again. And of course, I've been itching to play Ocarina of Time since we've talked about it. So that's really cool. I'm not a huge Genesis guy, but I'll definitely jump into.
Yeah, I would say I'm a Genesis guy because actually my dad worked for Sega back in 1991 as a sound director for Sega. So
Oh, wow.
I grew up on the Genesis. So yeah, I was playing Sonic 1, Sonic 2 growing up. So yeah, the lineup for the Genesis side of things is Castlevania, Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Echo the Dolphin, which that game can go burn, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Phantasy Star 4, Restar, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Sonic 2, Streets of Rage 2, and Strider. So a really solid lineup. I think that there isn't really a miss in this lineup aside from, I guess, maybe just like I would like to have seen the full Sonic suite. Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic 3D Blast for on the Genesis side. That's it for me, but I'm a Sonic fanboy, so that's it's nitpicky. But I think all of these picks are classics, and I don't think that they picked a bad game in this lineup.
And I gotta assume they're gonna add those games. I mean, like even
but hopefully.
Yeah, I mean they even gave us a little taste or teaser saying they pretty much just guarantee that Banjo-Kazooie, Pokemon Snap, Majora's Mask, Kirby 64, Mario Golf, Paper Mario, and F-Zero X, a game I've never played before and I'm very excited to try out. That's going to be added to N64 later. So I got to assume they're going to throw the other Sonics and probably a bunch of other Genesis games as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's super surprising. They're also coming out with controllers. They did this for the NES and the SNES. They had these Switch controllers that you can add on there. For $59.99, I believe, you can get a replica Trident N64 controller for any of you who want to suffer through that again. And then the American Genesis controller has the 3-button system, the ABC, I believe the buttons are. And the Japanese version has ABC, XYZ for some reason. I don't know why the American version only has the 3. Are you going to be picking up either one of those?
I might actually pick both of. Actually, I might pick both of them up. For me, the Genesis obviously is the nostalgic one for me, so I just kind of want to have that. But then, I know that I'm going to be playing some of these N64 titles. I'm going to want the N64 controller. So yeah, there's a pretty good chance that I'll pick these up when they come out.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that one. Like I was thinking about it the other night. Like I have a Pro controller for my Switch, and it's obviously super comfortable, and I'd much rather use that controller compared to an N64. But I thought about controlling Ocarina of Time without C buttons, and how are you going to use the items on a second stick? And I gotta imagine I might as well just suffer through it, spend $50 or $60, and let's get another Trident. In reality, it's not that bad once you hold it after a while.
I was gonna say what I am surprised about though is that wait, did you say it was OG Smash on that list of like rumored ads for the N64 one?
So none of these are rumors; it's actually confirmed. Nintendo did confirm that these games are coming, but Smash does not appear to be one of them. At least the OG.
That's a surprise to me that the OG Smash is not on here. But
I agree to that too. I gotta assume that's something for later. I mean, we're still missing a couple. Obviously, we got Donkey Kong. Is it on here? I gotta wonder if they will add the Master Quest of Ocarina of Time. I know that game. I actually think it's inferior to the original version, but I know that game has its fans. So there's definitely some missing N64 games. Unfortunately, like the N64 and the Genesis, I think, suffers from this too. A lot of the third-party titles, specifically, tend to be probably hard to deal with. Like, we're obviously not going to be getting Tony Hawk on the N64, and I used to play a lot of Tony Hawk on the N64. And the wrestling game, I know one of the wrestling games was huge on the N64. I doubt we're getting that one. So I'm kind of curious to know what's going to happen, especially after these later games once you get into Super Smash Brothers. But we'll see what happens from there. Maybe we'll just go straight to Game Boy, or maybe we'll get GameCube, and then we can get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and have every single 3D Zelda on the Switch, which that's something I want.
Yeah, I would love to see the Game Boy stuff come in, because there's a ton of games that I would like. that's the one thing that I missed coming from the OG Wii and Wii U to the Switch was the Virtual Console
Yeah.
channel. Completely missing out on just all of these classic Game Boy Advance games. They would make money hand over fist, absolutely, if they introduced, OG Game Boy. You get all the Pokemon games, you get all of the you get the Zelda games on there, the Sonic games on there. Like there's just a ton of different things that people absolutely loved about the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance, and they would just make a killing, if they introduced that. So I expect that's coming soon.
Yeah. I personally hope they do it all at once. I really would hate it if it's just Game Boy or just Game Boy and Game Boy Color. I hope they just take Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, just throw it all in one.
Yeah.
Because there are definitely Game Boy games I would love to replay, like Super Mario Land or the original Donkey Kong Country in the Game Boy. I would love to play those one more time. But, like, truth be told, the games I actually really do want to play in its entirety again are on the Game Boy Advance. We'll see. And let's see. What's next is, at least on this list, is something that I've been waiting for since they announced it 4 or 5 years ago. We finally got to see something for Bayonetta 3. And it's not just a cinematic teaser. We actually got to see a little bit of gameplay. We got to see giant kaiju battle, Bayonetta's new design, and just a general synopsis of how the game works. It looks like we are controlling it a little bit differently. I saw in the bottom corner of the HUD, it looks like she has a little bit more options. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of a different style for this game, which I'm all for. I don't remember exactly when Bayonetta 2 was ported to the Switch. I think that was 2018 is when that happened. So it's definitely been about 4 years since we've been playing a Bayonetta game. But I think this looks phenomenal, and we're currently looking at a window of 2022 for this one. So sometime next year, judging by the release window, maybe we're looking at fall. They're probably going to push Zelda, I'm assuming, as far as they can, so they can make it as perfect as it can be. But other than that, I think it looks fantastic. I know you didn't get a chance to watch the trailer yet, but are you a Bayonetta fan? Is this something that's exciting for you at all?
I mean, it looks. Bayonetta is an interesting game. I never played either of the other two, so I would probably say not. But this one, I was just checking out the trailer.
Mhm.
I mean, it looks pretty cool. I wouldn't. I'd be interested to give it a try. It looks pretty. It looks like it kind of has like a feel of like DFC is like it's like a hack and slash kind of type of game,
Yeah.
which I like. So I could get behind giving this a shot.
Yeah, it's definitely that. It's I think it's made by the same people who did Beautiful Joe, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's basically your Devil May Cry with a similar style, similar gameplay. As far as which one's better, I think at that point it's just up to you. But it's basically exclusive to Nintendo now. They kind of own this franchise that is really weird and not Nintendo. But all three games, or at least the first two, are great, and you could pick them up on the Switch. If you buy the second one, I think you automatically get the first one. At least that's what mine was. It had the first one installed with it. But they're definitely worth it if you like the hack and slash kind of games. But the next big thing on the list is we got to see, and I was fully expecting this one, we got to see a little bit more Splatoon 3 footage. We got to see it, kind of your typical gameplay, and to be honest, I can't really tell the difference between Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, and Splatoon 3. They all look very similar. But this one's definitely got a little bit of a different vibe to it. It seems a little bit more on the kind of gray side. Everything looks a little bit less flashy. Like Splatoon 1 and 2 seemed like a nice city. Like everything was kind of bright and sleek. Whereas this one seems like everything's a little bit more run down. So it's somewhat of its own look. Other than that, it just looks like more Splatoon gameplay. With a couple new weapons and some furry squids. the big thing is that it's the return of mammals in this game. So kind of interested to see what that's all about. But I've been a fan of this franchise, so this is definitely something I'm probably gonna pick up. Like, just take my money, I'm gonna buy it. Have you played Splatoon at all? Does this do anything for you?
I mean, I played Splatoon a long time ago when it first came out. It's fun. And, it's a cute, fun,
Yeah.
multiplayer arcade shooter kind of experience. I'm okay with it. I would say that if you're a fan of the franchise, obviously, then you're gonna get this one. I'm actually kind of curious, like thinking about it now, thinking about like when I played Splatoon and kind of now, my appreciation for more like arena shooter, like competitive scenes.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious as to how like this competitive scene, like what this looks like. So it might be something that I might actually get more into if that competitive scene looks any interesting to me.
I know when they first announced Splatoon, well, they first announced the Switch, so prior to them confirming Splatoon 2 like existed, they were really trying to push that. I remember in the Switch trailer they had like esports arena players and like a team playing Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're still doing that. I, really haven't seen that. It's in the trailer so far. We really haven't seen anything but just the regular old gameplay. But hey, we're getting more Splatoon, which is kind of surprising since we've got 3 Splatoons but only 1 arms. When are we getting legs? That's all I want to know. Next on the big list, we have the Sunbreak expansion for Monster Hunter Rise, which is announced for summer 2022. Obviously, Monster Hunter Rise is fun. It's great. I actually just got that game. I've only put in about maybe 3-4 hours. I've been playing it like a couple hunts every night, kind of thing, before bed, along with a couple courses in Mario Golf. So I'm kind of looking forward to this, especially it's summer 2022 when I've been playing this game for a year. Maybe I'll dive into it. Kind of still a little undecided. We'll see where I'm at that point. But this is great. It's obviously a big game. I think you've played Monster Hunter. I think you've been into it, at least Rise.
Yeah, I played a bit of Rise, and I played it for maybe 20 hours or so.
Yeah.
But for me, I've never been huge onto the Monster Hunter or like playing the games. I like the franchise and stuff, but when it comes to me playing it, it's just I never I don't have the attention span to sit down and just try to grind out hunts. It's not really my thing. But Rise was the one that I think that kept me engaged the most. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be a cool expansion. Usually, always the Monster Hunter expansions are always very well done. In addition to the base games, so yeah, this is exciting. I assume that my friends are going to get back into the game once it comes out, and they're gonna play it a ton, and I'll probably just have to sit and listen to them in Discord as they're doing all of their hunts. But yeah, it's it's cool. I'm very I don't know if there's other things in the expansion that are exciting, then maybe I'll consider getting it.
And I don't know about you, but as of right now, I would declare I think Monster Hunter Rise is the best looking and performing game on Switch I have ever seen. And I think,
Yeah,
like, by far, even just when I turned it on, I was fully expecting this game to, because I've seen Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World, of course, is a beautiful game, but I was not expecting this game to, in my opinion, compare to it. Like, there's definitely downgrades. It's not as audacious as Monster Hunter World, but the fact that I'm holding my Switch and staring at it and being like, this is shows that the Switch is capable of more. I always want to just kind of shout that out to Monster Hunter Rise. It really is a great looking game. That being said, your Switch will live for about an hour when playing the game. So you do have some caveats. I pretty much have to charge it every single night. Um, so after that, there's pretty much a bunch of little announcements. We have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate final DLC fighter will be revealed next week. So they kind of told us they're going to get its own dedicated direct, I guess you can say, where Sakurai is going to break down the final fighter in his kind of typical fashion. So I'm really hoping they end this direct with like a 3-minute like montage of like this Super Smash Bros. Ultimate of like saying goodbye. It's because I'm gonna miss this. I feel like this has been nonstop since Brawl. Just the hype for Super Smash Brothers. And we're at a point where, this might actually be the final Smash Brothers. Who knows? He said that like 4 games ago, but you never know. At some point, he is going to have to stop. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. To who it is. I have a feeling, and I'm probably going to call this out right now. It's no matter what, it's probably going to be a disappointment for somebody. As much as I would love it to be someone like obviously Crash and Master Chief, or even the Kingdom Hearts Sora. Like, I'm not personally a Kingdom Hearts fan, but like I still think that would be really cool to have. I have a feeling they're going to throw somebody just like come on at it. It's probably going to happen. But do you have any guesses or hopes as to who it could be?
Yeah, I mean, my hope is that it's Sora or Sora or Master Chief are probably up there.
Yeah.
An unrealistic one and I think would maybe be like Goku or something dumb like that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think like Sora and Master Chief are like my 2 top picks. Didn't they say isn't and I haven't been paying attention. Phoenix Wright's in the game, right?
To my knowledge, not as a playable character. Whether or not he's like a.
What did I think? I thought I heard something about Phoenix Wright being in the game.
He could be an assist trophy. I mean, at this point, the game has so much; it's so hard to keep up with. I don't even see any rumors. I don't think I've even seen any rumors or speculation exactly for who this character is. I think at this point, everyone's just like
it's been quiet.
Yeah, but they've always been good at that. Like even last time, there was always rumors of it being like Spyro or something, and then all of a sudden, it's
that'd be kind of cool.
The dude from Tekken or something like that. Or I forgot who the last guy was. But I'm not gonna lie, like the latest characters haven't really done it for me. Like some of them are really cool, but I never actually picked up the DLC for the second group. I got the DLC for the first group, mostly because the second they revealed Piranha Plant, I said I'm in. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. But we'll see what happens with this one. Maybe it'll be a Goomba. I don't think Goombas are in Smash at all, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. I'll say this: if this is the last Smash game, it was a good run, and if Melee has taught us anything, that this game will live on for the next 20 years. So there's plenty of time for more, for a Smash revival, or something of that sort. I'm sure, but yeah, I mean, if it's the last one, it'll be a good run.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't imagine it is. Like, there's no way Nintendo's not going to do something else with this. They'll put it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a cash cow.
Yeah,
this is a cash cow.
They'll give it to somebody else. Sakurai, I'm sure, has his recommendations. But I'm not gonna lie, I would be interested in them taking the same premise, putting all the Nintendo characters together, but let's try something else. I don't know if Nintendo would do that or what that would be, but I would definitely be interested in them saying to one of their teams, you have freedom to use whoever makes something up. And I thought that'd be kind of cool. But we'll see. We'll find out next week, and then we'll probably obviously talk about it whenever the next episode is. Beyond that, we definitely have some updates. We're going to be getting another separate direct for Animal Crossing. We've had some trailers for the new Mario Party coming out. We have Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, not the remake, but the old version, coming to Switch. We got the Castlevania Advanced Collection coming to Switch, and then pretty much a bunch of other stuff. A lot of crazy announcements. But we can't talk about this direct without talking about the fact that we have the cast for the new Mario movie. And it is quite a cast. It definitely started off with huh for me. And that is that our main man himself is going to be played by or voiced by Chris Pratt. Which is not a voice that I would picture from Mario, but
Nope.
it's a thing. So, I think before we even move on to the rest of the cast, which in my opinion is great, like just perfect, but what are your thoughts on Chris Pratt as Mario?
I'll say this. I have, if there's anybody who could make it work, it would be Chris Pratt. So I will reserve negative judgment. I think he's gonna. I think it'll be pretty. It'll be good. I think it'll be good. It not in an accuracy sense, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's not. I don't think it's gonna be like picture perfect to the T, but it's gonna be good no matter what.
yeah. I think I'm staying on the hopeful side. Like, I actually have nothing. Like, I have nothing against Chris Pratt. You know who he is or the movies he's been in. He's definitely been in movies that I'm not crazy about. And I know if you get into his like personal life, he definitely says some things that not everyone is crazy about. But I gotta assume that he was chosen, hopefully, for more than just his name. And
Yeah.
he's got to be working on a Mario voice that's going to be good. Now, as an Italian, do I want him to just go on behind the mic and just fake an Italian accent? No, not really. I would definitely like him to not do that. At that point, he should have just cast any other Italian to do it. But I'm excited to hear his voice. I did see he put out a tweet that said that he is working on a voice specific for Mario. So we're not just going to get Chris Pratt as Mario. We're going to get an unrecognizable voice. So, or at least a not immediately recognizable voice. So
Yeah.
I'll reserve my judgment when I see it. Definitely a weird casting call, but the rest of them is great. We have Anya Taylor-Joy, who's playing Peach. If you don't know who she is, she was from Queen's Gambit on Netflix. So that was a very serious role. I don't know what else she has starred in personally, but she definitely has the voice. I can hear it. We have probably my favorite casting of all time. Charlie Day is Luigi, which has to be the greatest thing. The second I saw that, I went, all right, I'm good. Like, this movie's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Followed by Jack Black as Bowser. How much better can you possibly make this?
I'll say that I've been Jack Black. I think is a severely underrated vocal athlete.
Oh yeah.
From all of his stuff that he's done in Tenacious D, he has such an insane voice, an incredible voice, and he can do so many cool things with his voice. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with Bowser. Should be really fun.
And then rounding out the rest of them, again, just every time I'm saying everyone I'm gonna say, it's a smile to my face. We have Keegan Michael Key as Toad. Are you kidding me?
That's how you make this better. Is have Keegan Michael Key be Toad. That's
unbelievable. And then Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. That alone, the second I saw it, I heard it in my head and went, perfect. Like that, you can't get better than that. Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, which I'm not as familiar with them, but I've heard that that's like the greatest castings ever. So I have utter faith in it. And then a comedian who I really like, Sebastian Maniscalco. He is Spike, Foreman Spike, who is not a character I expected for them to throw in this movie, but he's in there. And for all you Mario stans who were really disappointed that Charles Martinet wasn't cast as Mario, he is in this movie. They did confirm he's going to be making cameos. It's specifically plural for the movie. So,
oh boy,
who will he be? Charles also voices, I believe he does Wario and Waluigi, which I feel like if you're making a Mario movie, yeah, you got to have Wario. You know, I think he'll be in there. I hope they throw Waluigi in there for all of us who absolutely love that creepy stick man.
Is this supposed to be in a theater? Is this supposed to be released in theaters?
That is their goal. In the direct, they kind of worded it basically saying, like, we're scheduled for December 2022 release, but, you know, given the situation, that might change. They kind of specifically said, don't lock that down.
I just can't imagine going to walking into a movie theater and an entire building erupting with a wah.
Yeah.
God.
I want this. I want it so bad. I can't wait. That being said, if this movie goes the route of it being a Jumanji, where it's Chris Pratt being sucked into a video game becoming Mario, all the goodwill they just made just got thrown out the window for me. That is super disappointing. And I don't know if it's too late now if anyone working on this movie watches this, but I really hope this ends up actually just being a Mario movie. Make it in the Mushroom Kingdom. Please don't be this hybrid reality thing. You know, we've already got that with Pikachu, with Ryan Reynolds. We have 2 Jumanji films. You know, we have Free Guy. There's a lot of movies that do that already. Just make a Mario movie.
Yeah.
At least that's just my opinion. I don't know if that does anything for you, but a lot of people are thinking that.
I agree. I mean, I personally liked Detective Pikachu. I thought that was a cute movie.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's a great movie.
I don't think that this should be that. I think this should very much be animated entirely.
Mm-hmm.
It should be there should be no fourth wall breaking or anything crazy. There should be no bringing Chris Pratt into. It should not. No, this just needs to be a Mario movie, period. That's it.
But this movie, obviously, we have a year and a half before it's even potentially coming out. We're probably not even going to see a trailer for this movie for quite some time. I gotta assume another 8, maybe 8 months. But till then, this was a great direct. It's definitely got me thinking about Nintendo. Which I haven't really been thinking about my Switch a lot in a long time. It's kind of been sitting there, so it's nice to really be excited for 2022. Seems to be a huge year for the Switch, and we didn't even get Breath of the Wild 2 in this direct, so this is by all means immense. But moving on from that, let's talk about something that we've been playing this week. And Alan, you tried out Amazon Gaming Studios' New World, and that came out, I believe, yesterday, or was it Friday when that game came out?
I think it was actually, I think it was yesterday.
I'm pretty sure it was. I didn't see a lot of people talking about it. For the record,
yeah, it was yesterday. It was yesterday.
All right. For the record, yesterday was Tuesday, the 28th. So, Alan, how was New World?
So the release of New World was kind of botched. It was very much a cluster to try to get into the game at all. Servers were bombarded with just people trying to get in. It even affected Twitch numbers. Like, I've heard anecdotes from people who were streaming yesterday who were not playing New World, and they were having trouble getting people into their streams because there was some absurd number of people watching New World yesterday on Twitch, which was crazy. But I got the game today, the 29th. I was able to log in because I picked a medium population server with no queue. It actually shows how many players are in queue for the server. And there were servers that had like thousands of people in queue, which I don't understand why you would sit and wait that long. But that's to each their own. But getting into the game, I had not seen a ton about New World. I didn't watch anything from the beta footage that was streamed. Haven't really done any research on the game. So I got into it, and I'm actually enjoying it a ton. It is a kind of a hack and slash, it's like a hack and slash MMO, like crossover between like World of Warcraft slash Final Fantasy 14 sort of stuff, where there's buttons to activate abilities, but then you kind of have a hack and slash basic attack system and a block system, which is cool. There's a gathering and crafting system involved, which is nice as well. There's plenty of resources. Respawn rates for things are very quick, even though there's a ton of players. I never found myself needing to find things, or like just not being able to, because players would eat the stuff up. Gameplay smooth. My my laptop is decently powerful, and I can play it at 60 FPS full high settings, and it looks good. It never dipped below 60, which is nice. Everything, the combat system's great. There's a whole living economy, and I'm about 10 levels in, so I've gotten to the first major city, and there's actually something in this game that I didn't anticipate. There are 3 factions in the game, and there is like massive scale world PvP where your factions are controlling different sections of the world, and even like claiming cities, like major cities within the game. Factions can effectively claim those cities as their territories, set taxes for anything that's done, whether it's crafting or trading or bartering, anything in the city. They can set tax rates for that go towards that faction. It's a lot bigger scale of an RPG, like a faction-driven RPG, MMORPG, than I think we've really ever seen before. So I'm enjoying it a ton. I got it for work, and I'm planning on streaming it with one of my coworkers. So we had to kind of pick a stopping point for us to be able to meet up at the same point and then start playing together. And I just want to keep going. I just want to keep playing it, and it kind of fits this. It threads this nice fine line of, there is a story, there is a single player campaign aspect, but there are other people in the world. The world is vibrant. There's always people around all the cities, and in the wild, there's never a shortage of seeing and feeling the multiplayer aspect, the world aspect to it, which for me it does a lot, because I can't sit down and play a single player game for my life, but that kind of threads a nice fine line of having the best of both worlds. So I would say, definitely, if you have friends who are interested in playing New World, pick it up with your friends. Make sure that you join the same server, and make sure that you do end up joining actually the same faction, because those are the 2 kind of binder or consideration factors when you're talking about parties and communities and guilds, is making sure you're on the same server and making sure that you're in the same faction, and then you can play with your friends. But I would recommend picking it up. It seems like there's going to be a lot of fun, and I just hope that there is a substantial end game to this, because the PvP thing is nice. I would like to see a bigger PvE end game to this, because I think is a lot. There's a lot to this game, so definitely would recommend it at this stage to pick up and try.
And I think it's tough to not talk about New World without bringing up probably the elephant in the room, which is how it compares to WoW and Final Fantasy 14. And I know definitely with World of Warcraft seems to be kind of losing players. I know a lot of people shifted to Final Fantasy 14 as an alternative. Do you think that there is room for New World? I mean, obviously this game just came out. It's been out for about 48 hours, so you're definitely in the honeymoon period. But Do you think that like even in this market, can we have something like New World coexist with what remains of World of Warcraft and now Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah, I think so. I think that there is a world. I think that this is going to kind of come in, and this is going to, take a lot of ground from the I think from the World of Warcraft audience. This definitely skews more towards, like realistic, more real world, in a sense. And I know that there are some World of Warcraft players who wouldn't be caught dead on Final Fantasy 14, for varying reasons, right? The anime waifus and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't be caught dead on there. So this is the out to playing World of Warcraft. I would say that this is a little bit different than both of those games. This is, I think, a little bit faster paced. Kind of feels like a little bit more closer to something like Dark Souls in a sense, where the main basic attack combat is relatively quick, and then you have only 3 abilities, and those have lengthy cooldowns, on them. So you do have kind of that mix. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 absolutely the slowest of them. Really, I think there is a very real possibility that this could usurp World of Warcraft if World of Warcraft falls off too much more, as kind of like the next MMO that people should be playing. But that really is going to depend on, can Amazon continue to build and expand upon this world and this lore? Can they expand upon the systems? Are they going to make good decisions about how to, further develop the game? And that's ultimately going to be whether this ship sinks or sails. And I'm hopeful that it's going to be good, and it's going to, remain in a high level of esteem and prominence, in it, because I'm enjoying it quite a bit, and I think there's a lot of potential here. But yeah, I think that this has, I mean, and it's Amazon, right? Like they have enough money to throw at the problem. If there's an issue, they'll probably make it work. So I expect that this will edge its way in as kind of like the next big RPG that people are picking up.
And you know what? We'll take another look at it in the next episode, a couple weeks from now, and see where it currently stands. I'm definitely interested in seeing. But as of right now, that's great to hear that you're having such a good time with it. Unfortunately, we are running on out of a little bit of time, so I'm gonna try to get in a few minutes of a quick review with my time in Kena Bridge of Spirits. I've been playing it on the PlayStation 5. It's also available on the PlayStation 4 and PC. And I know like this isn't 100% your thing, 'cause it's obviously a single player game. It's definitely one, if you were to just watch the trailer alone, you're going to get some Zelda vibes, probably Majora's Mask, if anything. I know when I first saw it, I went nuts and screamed, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen," and I can't wait. This has been one of my most anticipated games of the year. And I gotta say, it is also the most shocking game I've ever played, as I was not expecting this game to. I think one of the biggest things about this game is that, for anyone who's interested in it or anyone who hasn't played it yet or wants to check it out, is that Kena is a double A game made by an indie studio, which is not something that I think people realize when watching the trailer. I think people will kind of look at this game and kind of see more of a Horizon Zero Dawn kind of God of War thing, because kind of that's how Sony was kind of pitching it in their state of plays. But in playing this game, it very much kind of feels like the best PlayStation 2 game I've ever played, and I don't mean that in like an insulting way, because there's definitely elements to the game that are annoying. Like I'll be honest, the platforming sections, Kana's hitbox to like lift herself, way too small. Like it's kind of there's many times where she just falls straight to the ground, where I feel like in most modern games, like your character would just lend out a hand and lift themselves. Um, you can't do waypoints on the map, so you kind of are constantly going to your map, pausing the screen, kind of. It's little things like that that are like, okay, I feel like we've been 20 years past this. Um, but like all of those things aside, and you just got to remember this is a double A studio, or a very small studio. It's a double A game, and it's their first game as well. All of those things aside, this game is unbelievable. What this studio managed to accomplish. The presentation is immaculate, the best way to put it. Aside from the moments where it goes into like a pre-rendered cutscene where it kind of fades to black, again, something like a PlayStation 2 game. Um, Aside from moments like that, like this game, you really could show it to your friend and say, this is on the PlayStation 5, and they would believe it. Like, it looks and plays like a modern game, but definitely just little things here and there that aren't 100% there yet. Uh, and I really do want to just kind of emphasize just how really good this game is, but it just I think it's tough to really pitch how this game like in a positive light without always kind of pointing out just the little nitpicky things. Because I don't want someone to pick this game up expecting it again to be like a God of War because that's what it looks like, but it's not what it plays like, and that's not what this game feels like really at all. It's one of those games where it's kind of like a lot like Ocarina of Time, where you get your Master Sword, and unless you do your separate thing to get a big Goron sword, like you use the Master Sword for 2/3 of the game. You don't get stronger, you get more items, and you just have to play smarter. This game does the exact same thing. Like Kana never actually gets stronger; she just earns more abilities, and you are now allowed to use those things, and you just play smarter in the fights, which, by the way, are really hard for some odd reason. It's not because the game controls poorly, that's not the case. This game is just challenging. And you really got to learn the mechanics, and it's a game where you're meant to die in the bosses over and over again, which is obviously kind of a Soulsborne thing that's a little bit more on a modern take. But it's really strange for a game that looks like it could be in the same world as Ratchet and Clank. So it's kind of it's a weird thing, but I would say if you guys at all have been looking into this game, I think a lot of people are just kind of wondering, is it good? I think the answer is just simply yes, but I do not recommend it if you are a player who like does not play older games. I think if you're the kind of person who goes back in time, you replay PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games, you're gonna love this one. It's amazing. If you're a Zelda fan, there's no reason not to buy it. Just gonna be honest here. But yeah, if you're looking for something 100% modern, this game definitely has. It's definitely not that kind of thing yet. I think you should wait till like a Kana 2. But other than that, I definitely think it is a much buy and probably one of my favorite games of this year. Even though, again, it's not entirely perfect. But other than that, again, I don't want again not to sound too negative on that game. I really do want to emphasize this game is great, but there's just a lot of little things that I think we need to get out there for someone who's going to purchase this game. But beyond that, I really haven't been playing that much else. I've been kind of focusing on getting Kana done. I haven't finished it yet. I'm almost done with it. But I kind of can't wait to jump back into that. So beyond that, Alan, is there anything else you've been playing or anything else you want to add to our listeners?
Nothing else that I've really been playing other than what I was kind of playing last week. Yeah, just a lot of Magic, a lot of Destiny, and now New World. I'll be playing a lot of that. Yeah, that's basically it.
Sounds good. Well, next week we have the release of Metroid Dread, which is my most anticipated game this year, and I cannot wait. And I also get my hands on a Switch OLED. I was able to secure one, so I'm really excited about that. So I don't think we're gonna have an episode next weekend, but probably 2 weekends from now, we'll be able to talk about that. And of course, anything else going on, we'll dive back in the New World and see where it is 2 weeks from now. But beyond that, this has been episode of N.E.R.D. Never Ending Ridiculous Discussions podcast. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Apple, and of course, like and subscribe to us on YouTube. And you could find me personally at Spaziri247 on Instagram as well as Twitter. And Alan, where can they find you and where can they watch you when you stream?
Yep. So I am so at Esports Alan on Twitter, and then I stream on a few different places. I stream on Facebook for MTG Rocks. So there's MTGROX is the page. For Twitch on Gfinity TV, I stream Warzone on there as well. I'm going to be streaming New World as well. And then on my personal, I stream it's Dragosi_gaming on Twitch as well.
So of course, if you want to party with him, go join him, go watch him on Twitch, and of course, support our boy. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Nerd out.
Later.